What's going on, everyone? So according to Shams, he was on FanDuel's TV's Run It Back, and he said Dejounte Murray is a potential target for the Lakers. So what exactly he said was, one more player to keep an eye on, I'm told, a potential target for the Lakers, Hawks guard Dejounte Murray. Now, Dejounte Murray, he was traded to the Atlanta Hawks during the Spurs rebuild. Atlanta gave up a bunch, several firsts, and I never understood why Atlanta made this trade, right? I've said this before. I think the worst thing to happen to Atlanta was them making the conference finals, because I think that in their mind, they thought they were better than they really were and didn't understand that circumstances just fell in their favor and they were able to get there. And I just didn't think trading for Dejounte Murray was the proper move. I felt like this was inevitable at some point. Now, we don't know for sure if Dejounte Murray is going to be traded, but it does make a lot of sense considering that Atlanta is not even a play-in team currently. Dejounte Murray is also on a very reasonable contract. He is on a $17.7 million contract this year, and he's a guy that could absolutely make a lot of sense for the Lakers to go and trade, right? One of the big things that I've talked about is if the Lakers trade D'Angelo Russell, who is your playmaker besides LeBron James, right? Gabe Vincent, he's not really a great playmaker. He's a guy that can initiate the offense. He could find the open man on occasion, but that's not really what he's good at. Austin Reeves isn't there yet. He struggles with on-ball pressure. He doesn't have the proper vision needed to really make plays. Again, he can find the open man. He can find the occasional cutter. He can throw the lob pass, but there's more to playmaking than just that. Dejounte Murray, if you were to make a move and acquire him, he could make sense, but there's a couple things. One, I don't believe the Lakers are going to be able to get Dejounte Murray. I just don't think the Lakers have the assets for what Atlanta's going to want to give up Dejounte, just because Atlanta has so much invested in Murray. Are they really going to be willing to take such a significant loss, right? When they could just wait, be patient, and just see what comes on the horizon. The Knicks are rumored to be interested and look at Dejounte Murray as an ideal target. Again, I've continued to talk about this, something that I'm going to continue to express because I want people to understand that the more just competition, the least likely the Lakers are going to be able to make a trade. They have a first round pick, they have a pick swap, and then they have a couple seconds that they can trade. They are extremely limited on first round picks. Now in the offseason, they would have technically 3 that they could trade, but the Lakers are going to have to supplement players for draft picks, right? But they're not going to trade Austin Reeves for Dejounte Murray, right? It's just the Lakers only want to trade Reeves for a superstar. Dejounte Murray is a solid player. Don't get me wrong. I like Dejounte Murray a lot. He's still 27 years old, which is good. So he's still young, fits the timeline for the Lakers. 6'5" height. He's got a 6'10" wingspan. So he's got good size, good length, good versatility. His three-point shot has been much improved, which he's not been a three-point shooter whatsoever. For his career, he's 34%. This year, he's at 38.2% on the most attempts he's taken for his career at 6.1. So that could bode well for the Lakers. But there's also the concerns for the Lakers of every time somebody has a good season shooting the basketball and they come to the Lakers, unless you're Taurean Prince, you just forget how to shoot. So I don't think Dejounte Murray would help the three-point shooting. To me, Dejounte Murray is a trade either before or after another trade, right? So my thought process, if the Lakers were to acquire Dejounte Murray, it would be, okay, the Lakers trade for Dejounte Murray, and then you go get somebody else, right? You go make another move for another need. Maybe, it's Dorian Finney-Smith or something like that, right? Maybe you can convince Atlanta to also give you a Clint Capella. But then at that point now, that's $38 million in salary, but they want to get off of Capella based on some reports. So could you do something where, you're giving up D'Lo and Rui for Capella and Murray? Maybe that could make more sense. And now you have Capella as a backup for Anthony Davis, or you can start him alongside Anthony Davis. There's questions there, but if you're trading just for Dejounte Murray, I don't think he's an upgrade significantly over D'Lo. right? And now I know some people might hear that and go, oh, you're no way, blah, 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 D'Lo's trash. Listen, okay? First off, Dejounte Murray is 6 points worse defensively than D'Lo. Dejounte Murray has a defensive rating of 120. D'Lo is around 114, which is better than league average, by the way. League average is 115. People already are furious with the way that D'Lo plays, and he's been our fourth best defensive by every metric. Not named Anthony Davis, Cam Reddish, and Jared Vanderbilt. But Jared Vanderbilt, again, he's been limited, right? So Dejounte Murray has been as bad as Austin Reeves. And Austin Reeves has been our second worst defender next to Jackson Hayes. So Dejounte Murray defensively is a downgrade, right? Dejounte Murray, granted, fit is a big thing, right? And I'll touch on that here in a moment. But Dejounte Murray is averaging 20 points per game. Again, he's shooting an excellent 38.2% from three. He's shooting 46% from the field total and 50% from two-point range on 16.9 attempts per game, right? So he's taking basically 17 field goal attempts per game, and he's getting you 20 points. That's not an upgrade over D'Angelo Russell, right? Now, again, fit can be a big factor, right? Him being an athletic guard, I think, isn't definitely an upgrade because the Lakers need some athleticism out on the perimeter, just to apply rim pressure, right? It's one of the things that I've talked about so heavily with Zach LaVine, right? If the Lakers were to acquire Zach LaVine, his ability to score the basketball, but also just his athleticism and rim pressure. The Lakers don't have an athletic guard. But again, let's touch on D'Lo for a minute. So D'Lo is shooting 12 attempts per game, so 5 fewer than Dejounte Murray. He is, so far this season, shooting 38%, same thing as Dejounte Murray on similar attempts, 5.2, and he's averaging 15 points per game. So he is taking 5 less attempts and averaging 5 fewer points. That's not a significant upgrade, right? Because you're dropping off defensively with Dejounte Murray. I do think, I'm not saying Dejounte Murray isn't the better player. I like Dejounte Murray personally. Like, say all things were even and you just had to sign one of them in free agency, I would sign Dejounte Murray over D'Angelo Russell because I just think Dejounte Murray is more dynamic and I think he is more of a need for this Lakers team. But what do you have to give up? Right? If it takes D'Lo in a first, it makes no sense. You might as well just keep D'Lo because you're losing defense. As silly as that sounds, because D'Angelo Russell isn't known as a defender, but he's been, again, 6 points better defensively. That's significant. That's a lot. That's not like some minuscule number, right? Like, that's very significant. Also, you got to take into account minutes, right? So D'Lo is averaging about 29 minutes per game to Dejounte Murray's 34.4 minutes per game. So D'Lo's giving you better production, playing better defensively, and he's taking 5 fewer shots and playing 5 or 4 fewer minutes. Again, that's not a significant upgrade. If you were just swapping D'Lo and Murray, sure, right? But if you're going to just trade for Murray and that's it, I just don't think that that's the move. I don't think it makes any sense, right? Murray just, again, his rim pressure, his ability to create contact, his ability to blow by, his ability to play make. If he can continue to shoot 38%, that would be very valuable. He's played a lot off the ball in recent years because of Trae Young, right? Like, so you have what appears to be, okay, this could fit, this could make sense, this could work. I don't think that he is, for the juice is worth the squeeze for the cost. Now, if you could get him for like D'Lo and a second or two, then sure, right? If they're just like, hey, we need to get off of Murray, I just don't see that making sense. You don't give up a first for Dejounte Murray. Not when D'Lo has been better. And like every metric, again, if you don't believe me and you want to fact check me, go look it up. D'Angelo Russell has been more efficient in fewer minutes and fewer shot attempts. He's been better defensively. I like Dejounte Murray. If the Lakers trade for Dejounte Murray, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be disappointed unless they end up selling the farm to go get him, which doesn't make sense. And Atlanta, I just don't see settling because they have so much invested in him. I don't think that they're going to go, okay, well, yeah, we'll take a couple second-round picks. I think you're going to have to take a first. Now, if you can get him and Clint Capella, right, maybe that could make a little more sense, right? Because now you get that center and you get that playmaker, right? But again, still, what does that cost, right? What is the cost for all of those guys, for those two guys? Now, or maybe you're just kind of taking, can you get several guys? Right, because Atlanta has some solid pieces, especially that I think would make sense for the Lakers. Like, I even like the idea of Sadiq Bey, right? I don't know if they're going to re-sign him or not, but, like, could you get, like, Sadiq Bey, Murray, and Capella? I think that solves, like, 90% of your issues. I think that would be really good. Or could you get, like, they're considering trading Hunter, right? Could you go get Hunter and Murray in some type of deal with Clint Capella? Right? Like now you got a 3-and-D guy, you got a center, you got a point guard that can replace and come in and play in the D'Lo role, right? Even Bogdanovich, I wouldn't hate, right? Give you another shooter defensively. I'm not super sold on that, but still give you just more shooting. If you could get him, Capella, and Murray. You have to get more than just Murray. If you're trading for Murray and that's it and that's the deal, then it's just, again, you might as well just keep D'Angelo Russell. Seriously. You might as well keep D'Lo. And again, I like Murray a lot. A lot. I don't want it to come off like, oh, I think Dejounte Murray is trash or anything like that. I don't. I just, again, it's what is the cost versus reward? Does Dejounte Murray really make us a contender? Does he impact this roster significantly? I don't think so. I don't. I think that he is a guy that can maybe fill a void if we do other trades, right? He's a guy that has, he's been in the playoffs technically 3 times, but the one significant season was the 2022-2023 season last year. And in that time, he took almost 21 attempts. He shot 44.7% from the field. He shot 37.8% from 3 on 7.4 attempts. He shot 48.5% in 2-point range. He had 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and 23 points. That Dejounte Murray, that Dejounte Murray might be worth it. Now, that's a significant upgrade, right? So maybe it's just you're upgrading it for playoff purposes. Okay, maybe. But also, how does he fit as the third option? Right? Because he's not this like great elite shooter. To me, it just comes down to cost and what else the Lakers do. The Lakers make the right move at the right cost, it makes sense. If they don't, then I don't know. I'm not super sold on it. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think Dejounte Murray is the answer? Go get him. Do you think no? You're better off just keeping D'Lo at that point. Look for another trade. Look for another deal. Are you one of those people that just want to get D'Lo off the roster regardless? But again, you can be worse. You can. I'm not saying Dejounte Murray would be worse for us, but you never know. Again, like, what is his new contract? It's just, I don't know. I'm not super sold. I like him. I like him a lot. I think if you get the right other pieces, it makes sense. But we'll see. Time will tell. Anyway, again, love your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate you all. See you in the next one. Thank you.